a catastrophic event and actually a crash avoidance as a whole. The other area I wanted to touch base on was on fuel economy. Clearly, maximizing fuel economy is a huge undertaking for truckload carriers. In fact, for CCC, it's the third largest cost factor for operating a tractor vehicle, behind ownership cost and driver wages. So we do everything we can to maximize fuel economy. One of the first things that almost all truckload carriers do is they govern their tractor speeds. Studies have shown that above 55 miles an hour, every mile per hour reduction you govern your equipment at, you can save as much as 1/10 of a mile per gallon. So back when we had the first crisis on fuel back in 08, CCC did that. We knocked our fuel down about our speeds down about 5 miles per hour, and we did see that commensurate reduction in improvement in MPG of about 1/2 mile per gallon. And I'll get into that. Other things that are done in the industry now, you probably see them all around these days, is enhanced equipment design features really intended to lower the air resistance of the vehicle traveling through down the road, like air deflectors, curtains, gap reducers, and things like that. And the last one is driver behaviors. They're very difficult to control, but they can certainly impact your MPG. Wanted to get to the meat of it, and how does this impact PVI? Okay. Well, I have a couple of. This figure here is really trying to illustrate what I'm getting at. You can see two different operating scenarios of a tractor driving at 75 miles per hour versus 55 miles per hour. You could see the commensurate improvement in MPG by that 20 miles per hour. But what I wanted you to also notice is there are different components that make up the fuel economy for the tractor trailer. And in the first one, you can see 24% is due to rolling resistance, or this is really where the PVI comes into play. Also notice air resistance. It's a really high component when you're traveling fast. Now you knock it down to 55, air resistance doesn't come into nearly as much play, but the rolling resistance, or the PVI, has a more significant impact. So as we reduce our tractor speeds to save economy, the type of PVI, or the pavement surface, certainly has an impact on our performance. Just to put it into some raw numbers, for me, I know a lot of studies have been taking place over the years comparing the impacts of fuel economy with different materials of road construction. Certainly asphalt versus concrete is what you see a lot of the analysis on. And many of the studies, whether they be in Sweden, Canada, Belgium, the United States, you'll see fuel savings indications of anywhere from 1% to 6%, concrete versus asphalt. Looking at various things like rolling resistance, the smoothness of the surface, road deflection is another one. But generally speaking, 3% seems to be a fairly common number that I've come across. And again, just to put it in dollars and cents from my level, in the case of CCC, any truckload carrier, an average mileage driven for a vehicle every year is about 100,000 miles. Now for CCC, our average fuel economy is about 6 miles per gallon. That's practical miles per gallon, not odometer miles. And if you use price of diesel currently roughly around $3.86 a gallon, you can see that per tractor trailer we're spending about $64,000 a year on diesel fuel. Just saving 3% from the type of road we're traveling on, you can see the material impact is almost $2,000, $1,850 per tractor. That's a tremendous savings for us. And in fact, if you look at the overall impact for CCC's fleet, we're talking about in the neighborhood of $750,000, which just really goes right down to the bottom line. Also helps us to keep our costs low so we can keep our transportation costs and our prices to our customers low. So again, we look at it from a practical standpoint. Concrete seems to provide a safer environment for ourselves and the truckload, for the motoring public. And anything that can help keep our costs low, obviously we're all in favor of it. Thank you.